In my book that I'm reading, I came across a section that I actually had to stop and reread it a couple of times because it really drew me in of how truthful it is and how it can be applied to pretty much everybody um, every day in life. It says, how do we deal with pain? We are human. We suffer. No one escapes that fate. So this is a question for all of us. How can we ride out the bad times? And I'm using the phrase ride out on purpose because our lives are in constant motion and everything in life passes. The best of times don't last as much as we'd like them to, but the worst of times don't last either, even though it may feel like they do. It goes on to say, everyone in this room has experienced pain. You each have your challenges, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. In a way, I think you guys are a little ahead of the game. Lots of people don't deal with their issues until much later in life, when, believe it or not, it gets even more complicated. I like to think that because you're handling these tough issues, you will be stronger and better for it. That's so powerful and it holds so much truth because everybody suffers at one point or another. Everybody is going through something. And like growing up, dealing with as many challenges as I did with my family, I always said to myself, why do I have to deal with this? I'm just a child. And then in my early adulthood, getting locked into an abusive relationship with my children's father, I repeatedly asked myself, why am I doing this? I am so young. Fast forward to my 30s, when I got hospitalized for so long because of an illness, or watching my boyfriend lay in a hospital bed after his accident, or even my heart failure diagnosis. It was so easy for me to say, why me? Why am I always suffering? But the truth is, everybody does. Everybody goes through something traumatic, life-changing, the good or the bad times. Everybody's doing it. And it's so easy, and people are so quick to think that the world is out to get them. But that's not true. Dealing with things, especially at a young age, I like to think that it has made me a stronger person. It has made me become a better person. And I can be a role model and an example for my children because I have dealt with stuff early on, from being a child all the way till now. It really develops a backbone, and I can use that in everyday life, and I can really say that I'm not the only one. I am not the only one who's ever experienced pain or who will ever experience painful things. It's not just me, it's everybody, because we're all human, and we really do. We suffer, and it's not like that all the time, but like my novel said, the good times, they don't last, but the bad times certainly don't last either. So we can take what we've been given, we can accept it, we could find ways to cope with it, because the outcome is the same for everybody. They want to get through it successfully. They want to know how to cope so that they can get through it. And I think everybody just wants to live a happy, successful life. And that comes with a price. And that price is going through hard times. But as long as you keep an open mind and positivity, I think it's a lot easier to make it to the finish line. than it is if we're going to let those hard times defeat us. So I'm looking forward to reading the rest of my story because it ties in to what the story is all about. My novel is about Catherine. She's a teenage girl. She got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She's got to go to group therapy 5 times a week. And, ever since she's got her diagnosis, she thinks she's alone, that nobody understands her, until she gets to support group. And then she realizes that other people are going through their own mental health challenges. And even though they're not the same as hers, the outcome is the same. And that's just to get through it and to learn to manage whatever it is. So I think this book really could teach everybody a really valuable lesson in life. Thank you.